Do you think the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie? Why? The most important question in this chapter. If you get this question right, you get to know the whole chapter. Okay. So, rest of the questions are mostly comprehension based questions. This is an analysis based questions. You will have to find evidences of things that you want to say, and there is no correct answer in this. Like, no one correct answer. You can either answer with a yes or with a no, and both will be correct. You can give justifications for both. So now we'll try to find first the answer for yes, and then we'll go on to no. So yes, the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie. Why? Because he always wanted to escape to a happier past. He was very nostalgic about his birthplace, the place where he was born, and he had very great memories of that place with his grandfather. That place was Galesburg, Illinois, and that was the place that he wanted to go in the as the first destination as soon as he apparently reached the third level. The world is actually full of insecurities. He was very well aware of all the insecurities in the world that he was in, and he actually had a psychiatrist for himself. So usually most of the people would not actually go to a psychiatrist for a meager minor problem, right? So somebody who has actually some difficulties in living life, who is not being able to cope up with the pressures, the insecurities, the anxieties that this world is giving them, that person will actually turn to a psychiatrist. So this person had a psychiatrist of his own, and he was his friend. That means he was a psychiatrist he knew for a long time, that he had become his friend. Then he always wanted to go to the childhood town, and he wanted to go to a pre-World War era where there were no fighting. The World War One was 20 years ahead, right? So he wanted to go to that world in which is devoid of all the insecurities and all the fears, right? So that is the kind of world that he wanted to go to. That is why it was a medium of escape. Then he, at the end, you'll say that he imagined the whole thing. None of this was a reality. You can also mention his stamp collection. That was also a temporary refuge from reality that he wanted to escape, go back to that cherished past. Then he imagined the whole thing in his head, and that is how it ended. He probably did not talk to his friend any. So now we cannot give more justifications to it, because this side of the argument is a bit lighter. Okay, so this side of the argument is a bit better because it has tangible proof. So that's what we'll look at. But yes is not wrong as well, because it has certain evidences, certain things that we can point out to by saying that yes, it was a medium of escape. No, it was not a medium of escape. It was actually a place that exists. He did go back in time to a place where in 1894, and he saw certain things, and he came back and verified them. It was correct. So starting with the newspaper, he saw a newspaper, and it was called The World. And when he came back to his world, he actually verified the news headline. It was an existing newspaper. Then it was not something that he could have imagined, because there was a headline that he remembered too. Then the most important thing, that Sam, his friend, who was a psychiatrist, actually found the place. He actually got his $800 converted and went back to that place. Next, one tangible proof is the first day cover that was there in his collection. That first day cover was sent to his grandfather, but it was addressed to Charlie, his grandson. So how could his grandson Charlie wouldn't have been born in 1892. So how could it have been addressed to Charlie? Then conversion of dollars. Again, I told you, and if people say that why couldn't he go back to that place again if you know it exists? So Grand Central Station is a very big station. It's a very confusing place for Charlie, and he admitted in the first sentence that it has long hallways and corridors which can turn anywhere, and he had been lost before as well. So it's not a illogical thing to think that it was a very indeed confusing place. It's very difficult to find that same route on which he went to again. So these are the two facets of the same coin that we can say yes or no. Although no gives, the author also gives us better proofs of no, but if you actually want to dive into yes, okay, you actually want to write yes as an answer, so we have some more things as well. Now he can, as we move on, as we can expand on this, that he imagined the whole thing. Then people will say, how did this first day cover come about? So we can obviously say that he wrote that himself. Can he not write a letter? Can he not put it in that first day cover when he actually was in that phase of mind where he wanted to go back, where he imagined the whole thing? He could have also gone to that extent of writing that letter, placing it inside, referring it to himself from his psychiatrist friend. Then you would say, then where is Sam? How did he go back to that place, and where is his friend now? So Sam can also be an imagined character. There's something called schizophrenia. So this is actually just going deeper into it. Okay, so this is how psychology is. If you want to actually go to the root of something, you have to take every instance or everything. You'll have to analyze that. You cannot take everything at face value and agree to it. The first day cover could have very well been written by Charlie himself, and Sam could have been could very well have been an imagined personality. So remember, this story is being told to us by Charlie. We have never heard from Sam. Whatever we hear of Sam, we hear from Charlie's mouth. So if you have seen Gajni or any other, there is one movie as well, another movie as well called Aparichit, right? So there are two people living in the same body. Can that not happen here? Very well can. Okay. So if we were in a classroom, I would have loved to get a discussion out of this, because it's a very intriguing phenomenon. Okay, you can very well stick to psychology and you can prove every single fact, but you can also go to science fiction and say that this was time travel and there are various evidences to prove the same. Okay, so if you have actually, if it tickles your mind into thinking that none of this is possible, that yes is not possible or no is not possible, so you can obviously give me your suggestions. I'm very well open to your suggestions, but according to me, both of them are possible. If you want, you can write either answer, that yes, it was a medium of escape, and you will have plenty of things to write. But this is plenty only if you make it plenty. It's not there in itself, right? And we are not psychologists to imagine the whole thing, that we can interpret everything, that he wrote it himself. We cannot assume so many things. So that is why I said in the beginning that no is a more weighty argument. It has more weight to it, and you can choose whatever you want to write. Your answers will not be wrong. All right. So I hope you got this. This is the most important question. That is why it's so confusing. If you find it confusing, it is a very difficult, not that difficult question, but a very important, and it basically gives you the whole premise of the chapter. It takes you to science, it takes you to psychology, it takes you to human behavior. Alright, so I want you people to now take this question, write an answer from both these perspectives, from yes as well as no. Make it as convincing as possible. Right? Do it by tomorrow evening, please. And I want all of you to attempt this. If you are listening to this video, please attempt that question. It won't take you more than 15 minutes. The most important question in this chapter.